Hey there, CIS170. This will be a feature for something we do at the start of every week, which will be kind of an intro for what it is to expect for the week coming. It's something I would do in the classroom. And honestly, looking over the material here in Eagle, it's something I realize now that I didn't provide here so far with the course. So these will be recorded every week at the end of the previous week for the beginning of the next session, so that before you get into any of the content, you can see what's in front of you. I think that seems fair. So every intro begins with a recap, I suppose. So for last week, what you guys did, aside from the introductions in those discussion forums, was also essentially running through a version of a blocky game. What could you do in concrete sequential order that repeated itself until necessary to complete a transaction? So you essentially, with that blocky exercise, made a program, something that is repeatable, something that answers a question, something that solves a problem. And it just so happened to look like map avatars in a small maze, right? So here in session 2, you can see under this, I have a video about all the different ways that problem could be solved. There is not just one answer for something. This is not like a math class or a chemistry class, right? Where the answer is only one answer, even though we create essentially formulas in order to be able to, resolve a problem programmatically. Even though we do those things, there's almost never only one correct answer. So here in the first session of real material involving the textbook, what I want you to remember is exactly that. There's no one solution to a problem. For many of you, the ambiguity of, is this the right answer? That's going to drive you crazy, if not for a little while, then for a long time. I'm going to make that face every now and again when I move that arm when I'm not supposed to. Is going to be, it's going to drive you nuts, honestly. And for others of you, you're going to be empowered by that lack of formulaic certainty. You're going to want to make each of those different solutions your own. And over time, I assure each of you that over time, not only are you going to get a feel for that ambiguity, you're going to be like, yeah, I know I don't know exactly how to answer this, but I know how to attack it. And that's exactly the headspace that you want to be in. One of the things I will mention time and again in the the video material for this week, and it's something that I'm going to mention throughout the entire course of the course, is going to be, you are going to be acting as a bridge. You are not going to be an expert necessarily in every one of the fields that you are going to be deployed to, right? So when we picked Eagle off the shelf, it's actually a product called InStructure. When we picked that off the shelf, it was developed not by educators. It was developed by, product engineers. It was developed by computer science engineers. It was developed by network engineers. It was developed by not educators. It was not developed by students. So what InStructure had to be was a bridge. They had to be a bridge between students and instructors, so that they could provide the technical platform, but the rest of us could figure out what our needs for the system was. And that's the role that you are going to grow into here, is that connectivity between end users and back end users that every kind of solution needs. Now, the other thing I'm going to mention here, especially here in session 2, where the pseudocode documentation leads you to answer a set of questions programmatically that is not a program necessarily, is to think about the following things as you are listening, as you are watching, and as you are actually doing the homework for the week. Number one is wrong hand again. Do please remember that there's no one solution for anything. Number two there would be, when you are developing your solutions, if you feel like you would like extra feedback, reach out. I'll get you feedback. Number three is remember that the steps you are going to undertake here have to be repeatable. So think about that as you're developing your solution. Is this something that'll work time and again? And the next thing to always remember is this something that another reader, I'm going to refer to them as the next developer in the chain, who's going to come after you for developing your solution? What are they going to be able to get out of reading your solution? So you'll have to kind of look at it and read it over and think about it a little bit to see, does my language here make the most sense? So even here in session 2, we are not yet going to venture into the text. You are going to see the pseudocode style and the pseudocode terms. They're handouts, but you know what I mean. Documents, I suppose they would be here. And also, while you're at it, go ahead and grab a copy of Sublime Text. I mention it and I include for you download links there with the pseudocode terms and styles page in Eagle. Go ahead and grab Sublime Text. It is what is called evaluationware, and I will tell you, they have an education license that allows you to evaluate it for a semester without paying. Now, you will get, those little pop-up windows here and there that say, hey, are you done evaluating? Because we'd like for you to maybe buy it. You don't have to, because we are using it for education, so we are actually within the license for that. It's called Sublime Text, and it's really a fantastic piece of software. And what Sublime Text is going to do for you, and you can again see it in that pseudocode terms and style page, there are 2 videos there for you, both of which I use, or in one of which actually I use Sublime Text for you. What it'll actually do is maintain things like indentation for you, which is going to be good. So grab a copy of Sublime Text. Make sure you watch the videos before you proceed with the homework. The homework for this coming week is going to be the pseudocode exercise 1. I'm also going to mention here, I'm going to keep open the voting through the end of the day today, Monday. Less than half of you went and took the time to do the 2 surveys from, I believe, Thursday of last week. If you haven't already done so, go back and do those, because I feel like the answer is going to change drastically for the course, for the class, for everybody in it, as you guys go through and actually answer those really quick survey questions. So do please go back if you haven't already and take that. And as usual, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please reach out sooner rather than later so we can help get those addressed. So have at it, everybody.